I've always loved Pottery Barn's pillar candle holders, but not for $30 a piece. So I decided to make my own. First stop, Home Depot. When I got home, I removed the screws at the top of the legs with pliers. This created a flat surface. I also picked up 6 4-inch terracotta saucers, 2 for each leg. Once everything was laid out, I mixed up my epoxy. I used Gorilla Glue, but E6000 would work just as well. I started by applying the glue to one end of the leg. I then attached it to the bottom of the saucer. I repeated this with the 2 other legs. Then I applied the glue to the opposite end of the leg and added the other saucer. Leave these in a safe spot so they can dry completely before moving on. After a few hours, they were ready for paint. I chose a neutral white, but the possibilities are endless. Be sure to cover every inch with paint. Once the paint dries, add your candles to the saucer and you're done. The varied heights look great anywhere in your home. Use them as a centerpiece, entry table decor, or even for an outdoor party. And to think, I made all 3 for $30.
Grab some wood bun-shaped table legs. Take one of the wood legs and with some pliers unscrew the screw from the leg. Take a second bun foot and screw it into the vacant hole of the first foot. Take the third bun foot and remove its screw as well. With a spade drill bit, I used a 7/8 inch bit, and drill a hole about 3/4 to 1 inch deep. With the large drilled hole on top, glue the third bun foot to the top of the other 2 stacked bun feet. Stain your new candle holder by brushing wood stain onto the wood and then wiping away the excess stain with a cloth. Place a taper candle into the candle holder and enjoy the warm glow of your new candlestick decor. Grab a single chunky wood table leg. While you're at it, grab a 12-inch wood round. Remove the screw from the bottom of the wood leg with a pair of pliers. Cut up an old white t-shirt, cotton works best, into small cloths. Then elevate the wood round and the table leg so they are up off the table. Dip one of your white rags into the wood stain and wipe it across the top of the wood round. Apply with the wood grain for an even coat. Wipe any excess away with the cloth. Because the leg has more details to the wood, you may need to wipe the stain into the nooks and crannies of the wood. Once dry, flip the table leg upside down and glue to the center of the wood round. This means you're attaching the most narrow end of the table leg to the center of the wood round. Display it with candles and greenery for a cozy decor display in your home.
I grabbed a scrap 4x4 from my wood pile and gave it a rough sand on all sides and edges with 80 grit sandpaper followed by 120 grit sandpaper. I divided the wood into thirds and drew 2 lines down the top. I evenly spaced out 18 marks alternating on either side so the marks were staggered. I used a 3/4 inch drill bit to drill holes in each mark. In order to make sure the depth was the same, I put painter's tape on the drill bit to know how far to drill for each hole. I placed some 120 grit sandpaper around a carpenter's pencil and sanded the edges of the holes. This worked really well. Next, I cleaned it with a tack rag and then applied pre-stain conditioner and let it sit for 30 minutes. I applied the pre-stain with a brush and rubbed the excess off with a clean rag. I used a lone sock to apply a dark brown stain of a color I had pre-mixed. While that was drying, I grabbed some white tapered candles and let them soak in very warm water, but not boiling. After 5 to 10 minutes, I used a rolling pin to roll out the middle, and then I gently twisted the candle. If the candle does not roll smooth as shown in the video, then it needs to sit in the water longer. I repeated this 18 times, and now I have the most beautiful candle holder and unique candles for all occasions.
To start this project, I want to get the frames ready. I'm going to remove all of the insides, including the glass. Next, I'm going to paint the frames. I like that the black will peek through, but I do want them to be mostly white. While the frames are drying, I want to paint some wood pieces that I picked up. These are a little thin, so I'm going to use some wood glue to adhere 2 together. To make the slats in my lantern, I'm going to use these little wood stir sticks. I'll paint these white with the same paint that I used on the frames. With the first coat of paint on all the pieces, it's time to start putting them together. I'm using hot glue to attach the 4 frames to one of the wood pieces, and then I'm going to glue them all together. Now that the frames are together, I want to start adding the stir sticks. I'm going to put the horizontal ones in first. I just need to snip it so that it's the correct length, and then I can put them in. To decorate the top of the lantern, I want to add a small rope handle. I have a little piece of copper pipe that's going to work perfectly with some thick rope to do that. All that's left to do now is add a little hot glue to the lid of the lantern and place the copper pipe into it. I love how easy this lantern was to make and how pretty it looks on my buffet. It's simple and charming all at the same time. I hope this has inspired you to grab some frames and make your own lantern as well. I grabbed 2 of the wood slices, one that was a little bit smaller than the other. Before doing anything to the wood, I want to start by drilling the holes I'm going to need to hang the shelf. I want it to hang evenly and be sturdy, so I'm going to drill 3 holes into each wood slice. Next, I want to evenly mark 2 more spots that are equal distance from the center and the first spot I marked. I can use my measuring tape to make sure I stay on track and make the holes evenly spaced. I want to drill them about 1/2 inch to 1 inch from each of the edges, and I want to drill slowly so that I don't crack the wood as I'm going. Now that the holes are ready, I want to mix up my paint. I'm going to use milk paint to color the wood. I love that milk paint's a powder because I can add as little or as much water as I'd like. I want some of the wood grain to show through, so I'm going to mix this like a stain and use 1 part milk paint powder to 3 parts water. I'll give it a quick stir, and then I'm going to let it sit for about 10 minutes before I use it. To give the wood a little texture so that the milk paint is absorbed evenly, I want to give it a quick sanding with some gritty sandpaper. Each side of the wood slices is going to get 1 coat of paint. It's time to add the cords now so that I can hang my wood shelf. I want the wood shelf to hang down about 3 feet, so I've gone ahead and cut 3 pieces of thick jute twine. I've added on 2 feet to each piece to give me lots of room for the knots. I want to start by threading a piece of twine through each of the holes on the small wood round. Now I want to tie a knot in the twine on the underside of the wood. With the first piece of wood ready, I can now add the larger one. I want to space it out enough so that I can set something on each piece of wood, and then thread the 3 pieces of twine through the holes on the larger piece of wood. I can make any adjustments now that I need to the knots to make sure that they're all hanging evenly before I finish. I love how great this shelf looks and how inexpensive it was to make. It adds the perfect touch of charm to this corner of the room. I hope this has inspired you to grab some wood rounds and make a shelf as well. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Home Talk. I'll see you next time.